In this module, you will begin to use scuba equipment or Acqua lung. As this is the first time, the teaching staff will assemble your Acqua lung for you. Later, you will have to assemble the Acqua lung yourselves. If conditions are suitable, a simple and comfortable way of donning the Acqua lung is in a seated position at the side of the pool. Your instructor will show you how to put on the Acqua lung and adjust the straps. When you are ready, try breathing from the regulator while you are still sitting on the side of the pool. You will be surprised to discover how easy this is. Make a seated side entry as you did before, but be careful this time because your arms also have to support the added weight of the Acqua lung. Keep the regulator in your mouth as you get into the water. When you are in, put your face in the water and breathe through the regulator. It's easy, isn't it? However, you entered the water when your regulator was full of air. But what would happen if the second stage were full of water, for example, because you took it out of your mouth underwater? No problem at all. All you have to do is to clear the water from the second stage before you breathe in. There are two easy ways to do this. You can blow into the second stage to clear it, or you can use the special purge button. Try both these techniques, first out of the water and then under. Always remember to emit a stream of bubbles whenever the regulator is not in your mouth. As you will recall from your theory lessons, you must never hold your breath during a dive. Now that you can breathe from the regulator, you must learn how to use the buoyancy compensator. There are various ways of inflating and deflating the BC, depending on the model. If the BC has a corrugated hose, remember that you must hold it up high to deflate the BC, otherwise the air will stay trapped in the bladder. By pressing the inflator and deflator buttons, you will see how easy it is to vary your buoyancy condition. Practice will show you that adjustments to buoyancy should be made by giving short bursts and then waiting a moment for a reaction and change to your buoyancy condition. If you want to begin descending rapidly, use the rapid relief valve and expel as much air as possible from your lungs. Your instructor will show you how to do this. You already know how to clear the second stage of the regulator. But what should you do if it falls out of your hand? You have to recover it. To do this, just bend forward slightly and sweep your arm, the one on the side where your regulator hose is located, against your side. This method will enable you to recover the regulator in most situations. In the unlikely situation that you cannot manage to recover your main second stage, just take your alternative second stage, clear it, and begin breathing. Now you can calmly try to find the hose of your main second stage, starting from the first stage. By sliding your hand along the hose, you will come to the second stage. The first time you try recovering the regulator, you should kneel down in shallow water. It is not a bad idea to try equalizing your ears and mask at the same time. Familiarity with these techniques will prevent any difficulties arising later. Now that you are becoming familiar with how the equipment works, you can now fin underwater using the techniques that you have already learned. Remember that finning fast with an Acqua lung is of little use. To exit shallow water, it is best to take off the Acqua lung and pass it to someone on land before getting out at the side of the pool. The final phase of this module consists of disassembling the Acqua lung so that next time you will know how to assemble it correctly yourself. Here are the main steps to follow. Inflate the buoyancy compensator. Close the cylinder valve. Purge the air from the regulator. Disconnect the hose from the BC. Undo any other equipment attached to the BC. Disconnect the first stage from the cylinder valve and fit the protection cap. Detach the BC from the cylinder. To prevent accidents, position the cylinder so that it cannot fall over. Finally, rinse all the equipment in fresh water. You are now on your way to becoming real divers, and you will soon be ready to adventure into the underwater world.